Hi. Oh gosh, I'm so happy to see you guys again. It's so good to see you. Hi. Um, Everyone in the world, hi, we're the International Art Alliance, and we're literally coming to you from around the world in our own studios. My name is Ross. I'm in Los Angeles, and we're sending art to each other through the physical mail that we make alterations, and then each person makes an alteration of that piece. We've got intentions and a great process, and we've got Cheryl in Australia, and Lara in the United Kingdom, and Denise in Quebec, Canada, and Stephanie in Toronto, Canada, and Rose in British Columbia, Canada, and like I said, I'm in Los Angeles. Last week, I tell you, this was quite a week. I was so inspired by what we had discussed last week. um, Denise and Cheryl and Rose had talked about why they make the work that they make. And it was, I thought, one of the most fascinating discussions, uh, presentations that we've had so far. I mean, I got so much out of it, but we didn't finish. So we're here back this week to talk with Laura and Stephanie and myself and why we make our art. And also we're going to leave some room at the end of our program because Stephanie, you have something you received, a palimpsest piece that you've
Ooh,
received. Oh, can't wait.
ooh.
Truly one of the most exciting parts of any of our, I mean, it's really the central reason why we're doing what we're doing. So I hope you all stay tuned. Um, well, Stephanie and Laura, you both specialize in like people, like you show people a lot in your work. And I wonder if, which is so different from, last week the gang shows places in their work, and I just think this is kind of an interesting. I don't think we thought of this when we were
It's
even
an
without our
accident, I
people
think.
No,
together.
That
It's
is,
just
when we
an
were planning,
accident.
we didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
true.
So
yeah.
who, well, Laura, why do you do what you do? Why do you make your work?
I can start saying that I started to paint, drawing portrait. I started when I was maybe 7, 8 years old. I remember that I mm, I I was stalling, not stole, yeah, the magazine of my mom's friends that she was a hairstylist, and I loved to with just a pencil to copy these uh, faces with the hair, and it was something that I was really into to find the way how to draw the eye, the lines, and most of the faces, also the part of the body, but more the expression, and in some part I like also to draw the wrinkle, and this is why I don't know why specifically faces and female faces, but my why is it's a I'm searching, still searching my why, because there is I understood that there is something beyond what I'm painting that I want to transmit. It's not just uh, I'm using the faces the to try to transmit I think harmony, balance, because it's what I we need. I'm trying to do it also through my writing, my painting, my also uh, my life. uh, Try to find this balance, because it's so easy to disrupt our balance for what happened around us. So maybe I need, and I think that also the people that are seeing my painting needs to have like an inspiration to find this balance. It's a trying to transmit some feeling that can make other people happier and more relaxed. It wasn't always like this, because I passed also through a period that my painting were more I don't know what to say, like strong, more with more pain. I was searching also in that painting the balance, but it is exterior balance in the constructor of the constructing the painting. And I'm finding that I've evolved from that period to another period, and now what I'm painting, I try to transmit peace, not the painful part. That also it's part of the life of the pain, and here it's but probably now I need to focus more in the positive side of our thoughts that we have. So yeah, I think.
So can I ask you? Sorry, can I ask Lara a question if you don't mind?
Yeah, go on.
So Lara, did you find that you were painting what you would call painful pieces when you were going through a painful transition in your life, and then maybe now that you're painting more peaceful portraits, maybe because you're also feeling more at peace? Is that a fair?
Yeah, probably yes. Apparently, in that period, I wasn't apparently a painful period, but probably I was discovering myself. I was discovering some part that I was trying to cover,
to bury, to push down.
Yeah. Because sometimes life it's so rushy that maybe you don't have time to think, and probably through painting I was finding this side of my feelings, and I was transmitting on the canvas. So now in some way it's also I try to use my thought in a positive way, because I don't want to stay too much in the negative thoughts, because I think it's harmful for everything.
Yeah.
It's not always like this. It's not easy, because however, what I want to transmit, it's like Denise said last week, I started to think about my why 2 years ago, when we all together we meet, and I thought that it was just I tried like to find the words, but to explain myself through some words, but it wasn't easy. And recently, going back and looking what I always paint, what I like to do, what I like to write, I discovered that I want to, my why now is to transmit this kind of feeling, to help finding the balance and harmony. I think it's important.
Wow.
Oh, Lara, I love that this exploration that you're on and knowing that you've had this the formal play of light and dark, the dynamics in your artwork, and how that I don't know, it kind of what you just said really opened up that exploration for me to understand much more what you're doing. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
And that you've gone from this darker period, it's almost like it's like living out your, I don't know, it's like it's really aligned. I get that it's aligned in some way that I didn't understand before.
I think that this darker period, it wasn't dark at all from because I was living in a beautiful place. Everything was my family was great, my kids fine. So, but there was this feeling inside that I needed to show, and I paint a series of painting that I remember that many people found too strong, too that show some way, some suffering. And it was kind of strange because it was different from what they were seeing about me. And also in that period, I felt strange, but I felt really a sense of freedom to paint like this. Now in this moment, I don't feel to paint because, for example, one of the painting, it was like screaming. It was a person like tied on the back and screaming, and it's male, but I was painting myself screaming. Also, if it was male, it's male. It's the only one, or the only male that I paint in my life. So, and then many of it. And now I change. I don't know if I will change again because yeah, it's a period of the life.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Stephanie, you paint about people, but not really, right? Like you're exploring something else.
Well, yes. Like. Yeah. I try. I don't know. I try to capture, the person's vibe, the person's energy in the paintings, and I find that for me, Lara was talking about the different features, right? And when she was talking about the eyes, I was like, oh yeah, that's what really gets to me is the eyes, and I'm sure Lara too. If we're painting faces, right? Because they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and I believe that. And our soul's energy comes out of our eyes, I guess, if that's if you want to say that. So yeah, I'm still struggling with my why. I mean, this is what I think my why is now, but I don't know. I mean, that might change in 6 months or tomorrow, or I don't know. But right now, that's how I feel. I feel like I see something or I see an image, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to capture that energy, but in my way. So adding the colors and the layers and all of that stuff.
So you're curious in like this. I mean, you're making art about it. So I've got to. My assumption then is you're curious in a deep way that the thing that you're exploring is what you said, energy and people's energy.
Yeah.
Interaction.
Yeah, I believe that I believe every living thing vibrates, right, at a certain frequency. So, and even more so with people, because we have a heartbeat, we have because we have a heartbeat. So I just think that yeah, for me, I really like to try to translate that onto a canvas and see if I'm successful doing so.
Oh, okay. So today my game, I think, is like you say something and then it's like, oh, now I understand how that fit in your work. So now for you, what you were doing your previous incarnation, your pictures were about music. So they were also about vibration, right? They were also about this expression that, how people are coming across. And now you've just taken it in this sort of a different way. Like I see the one behind you. I think that's part of your astrology series.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still not finished the astrology series, but yeah.
And you're expressing her music, if you will.
So yeah, she represents the element of fire in astrology, so hence the fiery hair. And I wish I could say something more deep about it. But it's really that's kind of what my thought was. Okay, element of fire, and how am I going to do this? And I had a student. I was tutoring French at the time, and I wanted to paint her. So she did a whole bunch of like, I forget what not pirouettes, but like just she did a whole bunch of dance moves. And there was one where she had long hair, where her hair just kind of flew to the side and over here. I'm like, that's it. When I saw that picture, I thought that's the hair I'm going to use for this painting. Different face completely. I used, I think, 3 different faces for this particular painting. But that's how that sort of came into be. So I don't know. Again, I'm struggling with my why, right? I don't know if that's exactly why I painted her in that way, but
I
that's my
think
story right now.
that you are in your path discovering it, because it's like I think you need some like a puzzle. You receive information and you have to put all together. And you are in the middle now. You have all this information, but you know that the answer is there, but you have to figure it out.
I think
And
you're right.
it will arrive. And this is also a fun part when you have
Yeah,
to discover, because you
it's
don't.
true.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's evolving too, right? It's something
Yeah.
that is
Mm,
like
yeah.
it evolves and it changes as you do with time and experience and
Mm-hmm.
like your work changes, your why changes too. And that's so
Mm,
it's a fluid thing. It's not it doesn't have to be like it can still have roots in the same things and the same feelings,
yeah,
but it can change over time.
right.
Mm, yeah.
I do think
Just
the
like we
roots are
change.
are in energy somehow, because I do feel
Mhm.
Mm.
that.
Yeah, well, I just want to say it's not your belief that we are vibrating, it's science that we are atoms vibrating at different
Right.
frequencies.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Right.
not
No, you're
just
right.
your belief.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
actually physics.
a lot less
Right.
woo than it used to be,
True.
isn't it? It used to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's just silly. No, now it's like, yeah, that's what's
No,
happening
it's we
exactly.
Yeah,
actually atoms
we
vibrating at
are.
different frequencies.
Yep.
That's right. You're right. And would you say, I mean, I don't know about this, but would you say that humans vibrate at maybe not higher, but a different frequency than, for example, a plant or a chair? Because we have a
I think
heartbeat?
I think that everything personally, I think that everything vibrates at different frequencies at different times. And that's why sometimes we can feel attuned to a plant or an animal because maybe we're meeting each other's vibrations in that moment, in that time, because we
Hmm.
change, right? And when we reflect the changes in the seasons and the changes in the movement of the planets and the tides are not the
Mm-hmm,
same all the
mm-hmm.
time. So
Right.
we have all these things that we're responding to, and so do the plants, and so do the animals. So I personally think that we kind of vibrate at frequencies together
Got
sometimes.
5 minutes.
Mm.
5
Interesting.
minutes?
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
few minutes.
I think that as humans, we have this capacity to vibrate both intentionally and intentionally differently. Like we have a broader range. Like plants have a range, right? And then
Right.
we can, maybe we can fit and feel into their range. But if we're like having some I don't know, I don't want to limit plants things, but like if we're having an experience of spiritual ecstasy by looking at a painting, for instance, like that can happen, then I don't know if the plant is going to really meet us right there. But we
Yeah,
can
good point.
experience the ecstasy of the plant because we can go in all of those directions. We have a capacity through our own sense filters, right, to see a range of colors and to hear a range of music and
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
True.
So, yeah.
Ross, I wanted to ask you, what is your why? Can you tell us about your why?
I can somewhat, just like you. It's like I'm in a state of flux.
Yeah.
And the thing that Denise, what you said, I think is so great. It's like, yeah, we're not a brand. I'm not a brand that needs a
Right.
refresh. I'm a person who's evolving in my experiences, right? So how I started the body of work that I've been building is out of utter despair, and I trained as an illustrator, so I wanted to do something that was kind of story oriented, and but every story that I was telling like didn't really make any sense. I had only one story that made sense to me, and that's like, does this make me feel more alive? And then does this make you feel more alive, therefore? And so my key into that was to use a certain word. In Hebrew, it's chai, and to use that as the focus of my exploration. So that said, it's like now my work is like really changing, and I haven't shown any of it yet, but it's like it's really different from what I'm doing now. So in a sense, this is sort of like a portfolio. So it's like the why of what I'm doing in a, like, it's spiritual in the sense that how can a word influence your life? How can meeting something that's just black and white turn into color? And so anyways, that led me into a whole different kind of process work professionally, where I facilitate process painting. And then also in my own work too, where it's not so like, here's the text and now here's an illustration, right? So the why of how I would get to the pieces with this high were like, from the feeling of like the freedom of something or other, how can I use this matrix of this word and then expand on that by annotating it, or I don't know, palimpsizing it. That's not really a word, I just made that up. But we could do that because we're artists.
But there's the whole tradition of exploring something through different iterations, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
And I find it really
that's
interesting, also coming from an illustration background, that you stayed so close to that process as an illustrator, that you felt that your creative process always needed to involve the story element, and having to represent that story part. Whether I
Or
stepped
even
away
the
from that.
character.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your pieces, there's like character and personality imbued into the high, into the calligraphy of that word. You imbue it with all kinds of qualities that, when you think of a word, you don't necessarily connect.
Oh, thank you. That's really cool.
Isn't that part of why it's a sacred word as well? Because it's like, in the tradition, it carries a sound and a tone and a color, and it's not just a word. It carries like the vibration of sound.
I think that's a fascinating way to look at it. I would use a different kind of word for it, though. I would say it's about a principle, or a like, it's the vibration is this principle, or an outlook. But that's kind of an amazing way to look at it. Because Hebrew words are all associated with numbers, and the numbers are notes and sounds, and it gets into this thing and that thing. And it's like, wow, complicated, but they're evocative, right? And also in the Jewish tradition, it's kind of what Denise was saying. It's like taking the word and then all the iterations. But Cheryl's got to go. Bye, Cheryl.
Bye, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Thanks for
See you
being
next
here with
week.
us.
Bye.
Hope
I
it
want
was
to watch
showing
this more.
Bye, guys. Bye.
I was just saying that there's a tradition of text study, to study scripture and to study what teachers have said, and then to discuss, well, what does that really mean? And what does that mean to me? Like, to make it personal, and that this study is actually a creative act as well. It's not just, we received wisdom and now that's how it goes. I mean, certainly there are some things like that, but you can actually count them. I mean, they're very few that just appear, like, God says a thing and then that's the thing and that's how it's got to be. And those are all things that you don't even know what the why is. There's no reason, you have no idea what they're about. They're just like accepting something if you choose to participate in that kind of that kind of way. But I think this is so fascinating. So last week it was like places, and now this week it's like people, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Pretty
energy.
cool.
And
And
energy, like,
energy, I guess. Yeah.
and character, and what the character is saying,
Yeah.
and endowed with these different attributes that oh, it's just so fascinating. I think this is fascinating. What do
It
we do
is
with that?
fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's deep too, because when we're talking about like why an artist creates, everybody has creativity in them, like
Mhm.
everybody
Yeah.
has what they do
Absolutely.
that is creative in their life. I mean, for a
Mhm.
lot of people it's cooking, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it, or like my brother's really good at rearranging the furniture. He's an auto mechanic, but
Salad.
he's the best. When he gets it, he gets this thing, comes over him, and he just rearranges the furniture, and it always like works better, looks better. It's just like there's a creativity that's being expressed that everybody has, like that's my belief as an expressive arts therapist, very deeply, that everybody has this ability to tap into creativity as like the energy, the healing energy that you can
Mhm.
get just by being creative.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's the thread that all of us have, and that's the thread that every artist has, right? We're all being tapping into that energy that Stephanie's painting about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stephanie thinks she's painting about. Yeah.
Well, you are.
That begs the question, Stephanie. What's the why behind your doubt? Like there's some juicy part there. I don't know if I need
Yeah.
to suggest you
Yeah.
explore it, but there's something that's like
Juicy.
kind of fascinating with that push and pull. It's almost like talking to what Laura's doing with the dynamic of the
I think it's a confidence in my why. I think I don't have confidence in my why. I think that's where the push and pull is right now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think this is my why. I know that it has to do with energy. I do know that it has to do with energy. But beyond that, I'm transferring energy to canvas and hoping that other people feel like what I'm trying to express. But don't all
Oh,
painters aren't all artists doing that?
I'm
You
pretty
know what I
sure.
mean?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
No,
sure.
there's a lot of art out there that's all about ego,
Mm-hmm.
and that has nothing to do about connecting. That
Mm-hmm.
has to
Yeah.
do with presenting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That my belief. There's a lot of
There is.
ego-based art out there,
There
and
is.
it's quite popular, but it
Mm-hmm.
is not about connecting with others. It's about differentiating yourself from others,
Or
whatever in
expressing
whatever
yourself.
way you can, right?
Right. Right.
And that
Yeah.
doesn't appeal personally to me, to that kind of universality quality of art that moves me, because
Hmm.
for me, my whole life, art that moves me has always had that kind of unspoken universal, everybody can understand it kind of thing.
Hmm.
It
Like it
doesn't
makes you
have to
feel
be
like it makes you feel something.
well, and it doesn't have to be like, I don't need to know the person's subjective story to be able to feel something from their work.
Right.
Ah. Right. Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
To me, that makes a difference, right? If I have to read your manifesto to understand what's going on, then it's a different type of art. It's not that it's not legit. It's just, it's more intellectual, it's
Yeah.
more conceptual, it's more
Yeah.
subjective, and it's more ego based. And
Mm-hmm.
that for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm not really connecting on that level with this person. I'm just sort of seeing their story
Huh.
or a part of their story. I mean, there was some art I saw at the Belgo a couple years ago, and it was like
There you go.
let's
We're
just
live,
say
Rose.
it
No
was
swear
kind of like,
words. Just kidding.
why would anybody else want to look at this other than yourself in your own mirror?
Hmm.
So
Right.
there's that anyways, there is, it's not all art. I don't think all art is energy connecting, because there's some art that just stops me cold, and I'm just like, I don't know where to go from here.
Right. Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So I have something that came from
Oh, right. Yay.
Started in the UK.
from the UK. No, it came from
Well, it came from you, right,
Vancouver.
Rose?
It came from Vancouver. Yeah.
But it started in the UK.
Oh, it started in, yes, it did start in the UK. Okay, I'm gonna just push my camera down here, my laptop. I'll try not to completely close it now. Everyone can see my sweatpants and the mess in my living room.
And
But anyway,
master pack
studio.
strong box.
That box looks
yes,
great.
and
It
yeah,
does,
here
doesn't
it is. Here's the Titan strong box. Ooh. And here we go. It's got its titanium plate right here. It's
Oh my
got this
God.
cushy layer of wonderful egg foam. You know, put that there. And oh. Now this is my second reaction because I did open it already. I pre-opened it to make this part easier.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's very cool. So Lara, you started this abstract painting. And then Rose, and it's very cool. I love that, like
Yes.
complementary colors. And up here, now Rose, you applied some amazing texture to this. Was it some of your prints, your botanical prints?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it now. Now
You
you,
sort of
oh
see
wow.
this.
You can see the oak leaves and some other stuff, but they're sort of transparent. They're transparent so that you can see Lara's texture and color through them.
How did you do
So
that?
cool.
Wow.
It's the thinnest layer of tissue that I print on. It's a waste material usually. And I just made the thinnest one, and it's got a nice texture on it now for the next
It
layers.
does.
Except the green strip, I didn't put anything on.
Okay. But we
So you
can still
pick up-
paint over the what you
Yeah.
put on here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
On the red part, did you do something on that one too?
Yeah, pull
Yeah,
it
'cause it
closer,
feels like
Steph,
there's
so
something
we
here.
can see.
Yeah, it feels like there's
Yeah,
something here too.
Yeah, if you look at the
Yeah,
you can
there's
see the
leaves
oak
there.
leaves. Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
that
yeah.
is
So they add
beautiful,
some
Rose.
color. It's subtle color. So now there's some like yellows and greens
Now I see them.
at the top. Yeah.
It's weird. I could see them from here, but I couldn't see them over here. Okay, well, I
Yeah,
do see them now. Anyway.
it's subtle, but it's a collage, and there's texture. And I mean, Lara did this fabulous texture, so I
So
just kind
cool.
of went. I
So
got
cool.
into the texture too.
I'd love to hear your thoughts, Lara, seeing it now.
I'm amazed because I love the effect of the clouds. For me, it's like the
Yeah.
clouds that
Yeah, it
are
looks like clouds to me too.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
I cannot see too much on the purple, the red part. I'm not. I cannot see what's changed from probably it's my computer that is.
Right here, a leaf, an oak leaf there, an
Yeah.
oak leaf here.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's also got an even texture. There's another layer of
it
texture,
is.
almost like Denise's washi paper.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It
Yeah.
feels like that.
Yeah, it
Now-
kind of came out almost like a rice paper. Yeah.
Nice.
So is this the correct orientation or?
It's any way you
Oh.
want still. I
Yeah.
didn't want to
Or-
make it representational. I was inspired by Lara's abstract, and I tried to
Yeah.
kind of dive into the abstractedness
I like it like that.
of it.
It feels right like this, but I don't know. Maybe it's because Lara
Nice.
said the clouds, and I thought clouds too. So clouds are in the sky, so that's
Mm.
that's the part that's going upwards.
See,
Now, I
you're
have
not
no
free.
idea.
You can
No
take
idea
it
what I'm gonna do with this.
any direction. You can take
Yeah.
it representational. You can keep it abstract. You
Yeah,
can stick
I'm
a
scared.
face.
This is so exciting.
So exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, very cool. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I have to read Lara's intention and the passport that goes along with painting a bee. You know that I forgot to sign my painting.
Oh no.
Someone can forge my signature. Okay.
You'll have to do it at the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I'll do it at the show. Anyway. Here we go.
Oh,
That's
I'm
What
so
are you gonna
excited.
do? What are you gonna do, Stephanie?
Oh no, I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. I really don't. I'm gonna meditate.
I had
I'm gonna
to-
meditate on it.
I had to meditate on Lara's quite some time.
Yeah. Seriously, because I have no clue.
Yeah, I feel bad. I haven't worked on the one that Rose sent me yet. I've been a bad girl.
For once, you're
For
laughing.
once.
That's right.
Don't even go there.
Yeah, well, I had
Right.
this one painting that
Finally.
I really needed to finish, and it kept not being finished, but now it's done. So
Yay. Is this the one you did on commission?
no, I'm still waiting to hear from my collector which of the 5 compositions I made for him he likes the
Wow.
best. But he
Lucky
promised me he
collector.
was going to sit down with his family this week and send me his choices.
Hmm.
And then the other one also needed a little bit of a break. So I'm in between, like, waiting on people. So and I'm in preparation mode for shows coming up at the end of March.
Yes.
So I really
Exciting.
felt like I needed to finish this one piece that was staring me in the face, but it's now done.
Wow.
So I'm happy.
Wow.
Yeah, good.
Wow. Rose, you've got this beautiful piece on your easel today.
Yeah.
Hummingbird.
That's just doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Oh
mean,
yeah, I
real
just started that guy. It's a ginger lily and a beautiful hummingbird.
Wow.
A ginger lily. Oh, is that that's the name of the flower from a ginger rhizome?
It's called
Is it called a
ginger
ginger
lily.
lily? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Your line work is
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
You should
So
keep,
do
you should keep some of
paint
those
that in
lines.
gesso?
You should keep some.
That's my absorbent gesso that I use.
Yeah, you should keep some of those lines when you start
I
painting.
think I might.
Because
When
they're
you
very
say the
pretty.
lines, are you talking about the marks? The marks
Yeah.
in there? Like that?
No,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the lines on the underlying side of the leaves, like the.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do something different with this one. So I'm going to have more translucence going on.
Because those lines are really pretty.
The
Thank
colors
you.
too. It's extraordinary. Hey,
There's a
before we go,
special
Lara, are you writing or painting or both right now?
In this moment, I'm more focused on the writing because I have to publish the 3rd book, and I'm working on a fiction one.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the protagonist is the main lead. Is a painter. So.
What's
cool.
the name? Ross? Lara?
Her name is Alexandra, and everybody call her Alex because I want to talk about also that how difficult it is for a female to be a painter. So at the beginning of her career, she used like this name that could seem a male.
Oh.
Very cool.
Smart. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting, Lara. My early career, I only signed RLW or RL Williams because honestly, especially as a printmaker, the minute they saw my female name, I got treated absolutely differently.
Yeah,
I think this is a topic we should explore in the future.
I watched a jury
make you feel
once
Ross.
that do that, and I watched them because I was one of the organizers, and I watched the jury go around and look at the prints, and I saw them do it.
Wow.
I heard them do it.
So I guess in these
real
days
life.
of gender fluidity and genderqueer identity and all, people standing up for where they want to be on a spectrum, it's going to make it really tough for people to determine, to just say like, well, no, I can't do this because it just cuts out way too many opportunities, and the work is going to be good from all different places, just like it's been forever. Boy, what a shame that that's happened.
Subject,
that's
incredible.
incredible.
Interesting subject.
It is, yeah.
Look, I couldn't even stop myself. I had to go there. But we have to go. we're at our time. We got to go. It's so great to see you guys this afternoon.
Nice to see you
Thanks
too.
for
All of you.
being here so we can just talk and hang out and stuff like that. And hey, you out there in TV land, come back and see us again, and we'll talk about more cool things in the process of making art and what a palimpsest is, and we'll have more art to open. You get to see all that too. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.